mounted its weapons and is headed towards the city.
We believe it's trying to avoid our counter-strikes by hiding among civilian structures.
I don't think that's its plan, sir.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, Leo sent me Alien Rubicon, and this 2024 film was directed by Adrian Avila and stars Michael Paré, Preston Gear, and Paul Logan, among others, of course. So what is the story of this Asylum movie? Well, with this one, this alien ball comes down to Earth and just kind of like hovers above the water in New York City. And then the American government kind of brings in the scientist who first discovered this thing, and he, goes along, he scans it, and then that upsets the ball, so it starts attacking everything around it, and then the American government starts attacking it, of course, and then the ball starts going towards Washington, D.C. So the scientists, along with the president and others, have to figure out a way to stop this thing. What will happen? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, this is an Asylum movie, of course, and I'm a fan of Asylum movies regularly. I will watch them. Of course, they don't do so well sometimes, but what can we say about this film? Well, it's a fairly standard Asylum film, so there's, the same things you'll see over and over. So certainly their trademark of people talking in rooms are there, but with this one, I think the pace of it is fast enough where people talking in rooms is not really that much of an issue. It could certainly be, and I'll, mention it later, but the pace of this one is fast enough where you actually get, moving along and the story keeps going along. Once they really kind of introduce the ball, like right at the beginning, it really kind of just goes. And about every, 10 minutes, they're trying some new idea, and then they're, flying somewhere else. And they do a lot of also like cuts as well, like kind of shorter scenes, and then they'll cut to a helicopter and cut back and stuff like that. So it kind of gives this illusion of it being, pretty fast paced. And I would say that certainly works for this one, and it allows you just to keep on watching. And it's only like an hour and 29 minutes or 26 minutes or something. And so it's not, too long. So it never overstays any of its welcomes with any scene in particular. So yeah, it kind of makes for this good like flow to the whole story. So that is pretty good. And because it's an Asylum film, all of that kind of technical stuff, they get a lot of professional practice with it, doing it so often. And so the lighting is really good. The shooting is really good. I did enjoy just, how well it kind of all came together. And then the acting is well done too. Certainly they're all kind of, into their roles, and you believe them for who they're pretending to be. And so that's good. And then the big name, Michael Paré, he does a good job too. He's certainly, acting his way through this one, certainly. And he's, not doing lazy acting. He's standing, he's sitting, he's walking into rooms, walking out of rooms. Like, it's not just him at a desk. And he's in it for like quite a bit too. Like, it's not just a cameo. And so the visual of it all just kind of comes together to be, a well-made kind of movie. And then, of course, with any alien movie, it's always the aliens that are the most interesting part. And with this one, the ball, I would say, is actually pretty good. You get to see it a lot, and so there's a bit of CGI with this one. And the way they kind of intermix it with the story is, makes it for a fast-paced story, like I said. So that's really good. And it's always doing something. It's always blowing something up. It's smashing through buildings. It's shooting back. And some of it's actually like pretty funny too. Like there is one part where these two like army guys are just like walking around and just shooting the ball. And of course the ball shoots back and stuff. But that's just like a lot of fun when you do get to see the ball. So I think they call it like the Rubicon, but I'm just going to call it the ball. And so it, I think, finds a place in this movie. One that certainly works its way into your heart. And you certainly, enjoy watching it, enjoy seeing it when you can. So that's also good. And I think that brings me to what doesn't work with this movie. Well, like I said, it's an Asylum movie through and through, so there is a lot of people talking in rooms. It's like one boardroom and then this like helicopter set that they have, and they're always just like flipping back between the two. And it's the majority of the movie, like 80% or so. And it, I would say it's fine for what it is. Like they're talking about something new all the time, so they're not, particularly explaining things. Sometimes, though, they are, explaining what they're seeing. They'll, be on their phone or whatever, describing the ball and how it's interacting. But then you usually just get to see it with the CGI. So yeah, it's not the biggest problem, but one that if you're not used to the Asylum style, I would say would be a little bit kind of more dull for you. But I liked it. Like, I like Asylum films that are at least fast paced enough that you can get into them, and then they don't stay that long either. So yeah, it is one of Asylum's is just like kind of middle of the road movie, so it's pretty good that way. And of course it has these large leaps in logic sometimes. Like, people are just teleporting around, like they are in a helicopter, but they're like in DC and in New York, and they're just like flipping back and forth, and it's pretty crazy how much they teleport here or there. But then there's this like reality check towards the end where they're like, oh, it's going to take 5 hours to get this thing, and we only have like an hour before the ball comes here. What can we do? I'm like, that's never been a problem before. Like, just teleport it like you teleport everybody else. But no, this one solution that they could have just takes time to get there, unlike anything else in the movie. So yeah, just kind of funny leaps in logic that you can kind of just, again, like turn your brain off for this one, and it's fun. It's certainly can be fun. As for a recommendation, well, sure, I would say if you're an Asylum fan, check it out. It's a pretty fun time when it comes down to it. So you can certainly press play if you choose to. And as for a rating, well, ultimately it was pretty okay, so I'm going to give it the okay score of 4 out of 10. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.